Good morning, students. Welcome you all in today's session, that is of Standard 8, lesson number 1. We were discussing about the some important elements or components of networking. In networking, we have to use network for transferring the files and resources from one computer to another computer. We all know that. Now TCP/IP. This is the protocol, because today we will discuss about the protocols. Students, I told you that protocol is the set of rules which we have to follow to transfer file from one computer to another, or one location to another location, right? So we have to follow some rules. And the first rule of it is TCP/IP. TCP stands for, as you can see on the screen, Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for Internet Protocol. TCP/IP is a suite of communication protocols used to connect various computers on the internet. Look, students, whenever we connect so many computers and want to share some data among them, then we have to connect them on the internet, because internet is the network which has no geographical limitations. From anywhere and anytime you can connect with any computer. This is the main feature of internet. It provides end-to-end data communication, specifying how data should be broken into pieces called packets, transmitted and routed from one network to another until they reach their destination. TCP/IP is a combination of two separate protocols. Look, students, when we use TCP and IP, these are two different protocols. TCP is we know that Transmission Control Protocol. What it means? Look, students, if we have two senders, or one sender and another is recipient, as you can see in the diagram. I am going to enlarge the screen so you can see the, as you can see the diagram which I want to share with you. Let me enlarge it. I hope now it is visible to you. Okay, students, look, one side we have, left hand side we have a sender who want to send some file to another computer. This is the computer number 2, and it will call recipient. Okay, means sender will send the message and recipient will receive the message. Now the problem is that we have to break data if we have a huge amount of data, a large data. So we have to break it into pieces. Why we have to break them into pieces? Because every networking line has some limitations regarding the size of the file. Suppose file is very big, then what will happen? It will never reach directly in one piece to the recipient, right? So TCP will control it, because its name is Transmission Control Protocol. It will control it. And how it will control? It will break the message into some pieces, and these pieces will call packets. Just like you have a very big bag and you are unable to carry it, then what will you do? You will make some small packets of it, right? And it can travel very easily. Now, suppose it creates so many packets, and with the help of TCP, packets will travel from one computer to another computer. Then what is the use of IP? Then IP, what is the use of IP? IP's role is between from sender to recipient. Suppose you make the packets, 10 packets of one big box or one big bag. Then to break the data into packets, it is the work of TCP. But to take these packets and deliver to the other part, means, or to the recipient, this work is done by IP, Internet Protocol. Because after making packets, internet will take all the packets, and it will deliver all the packets one by one to the recipient. Okay, but at the recipient side, this process will again repeat. Why? Because a recipient can't be understand the data into packets in breaking, right? In breaking form, it will never understand the complete message. Then what will happen? Again, TCP again will activate and again make one packet from all the small packets, and the information will be one, right? Suppose we have a essay and it has 20 lines, and TCP will break it into 2 lines per packet. Then it will make 10 packets, right? Then these 10 packets will delivered by internet protocol, means IP. And after that, TCP will come in action again, and it will make these 10 packets again into one packet, so that recipient can understand the message. I hope now it is very much clear to you that from sender side to make packets and again to join them or to merge them into one packet and bring the data into its previous form, it is the work of TCP. And to travel to deliver these packets from sender to recipient, it is the work of IP, Internet Protocol. I hope you understand. Now I am moving on. Let me reduce the size of the screen so that you can also understand. Okay. Now this is the TCP and IP. Now next is HTTP. What is it? HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol determines how different forms of information like text, images, sound, video, and other multimedia files get transferred to your screen over the internet. What it means? It means, students, when we are transferring some file from one computer to another, but when the data or file has some specific kind of data, just like text, images, text means alphabets or any symbols, images means pictures, sounds means any voice message, video, and other multimedia means a mixture of sound and video, or animated, right? Animated means multimedia files get transferred to your screen over the internet. This protocol also defines what action web server and browser should take in response to various commands. Look, students, when we transfer these kinds of files, then the hypertext transfer protocol will work. Clear? In internet protocol is no doubt it is used to transfer the file from one computer to another, but it will depend that how which type of you can say file or data we want to travel from one computer to another. Then if the data is of in this form, then hypertext transfer protocol determines how different forms of information get transferred from your screen to internet, right? Means from your computer to internet and from internet to another computer, right? It will take care by HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, right? For example, when a user enters the URL for any web page in the address bar of the browser, it sends an HTTP command to the server requesting it to open specified web page. Suppose you write in your Google .com, means in your web browser you can say, or in your search engine, the Century School, www.thecenturyschool, right? In this way you can sending the request from your computer to the web server, right, to uh, open the website. Then what will happen? This is our computer and this is server. Okay, you can understand with this example. When you write something, it means you are requesting, and this request will carried from you to the server by HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol. And after collecting the data from the server, it will again come back to your computer. It is also by HTTP, because this is the basic job of the HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, that whenever you demand any web content or any web site to open, or any link, hyperlink, when you want to open on the internet, then HTTP will come in action and it will take your request to the server, and after that it will answer to you. Suppose students, you want to ask anything uh, in your school to the principal, right? But your entire class will never go. Some student will hesitate, some will ready to go to the principal room. Suppose this is your class and this is server room is principal room, right? Then what will happen? You can get information from the principal room, then you have to visit. Then you will make a question or make some query, right, which you want to know. Then you hand over to your monitor. Then the monitor will go to the principal room and will ask about the information. And after the collecting the information from principal office, then it will come back again to your class and tell you the all details. The same way, when you requesting something for your website or any link, then HTTP means like your monitor. I hope you are getting my point. HTTP is behaving like your monitor, and it will take your request or query to the principal office, and HTTP will take the query or any request from the client to the server. For after gathering the information, it will again give you the response. So when you are requesting, it will call request message, and when the web server, our HTTP server, give the response, then it will call response message. It is very easy, nothing new in it. I hope you understand. Now we are moving on next point, that is FTP, file transfer protocol. Any kind of file, any kind of file. Listen me carefully, any kind of file, if you want to send or receive, if you want to send or receive on internet, it is because of FTP, file transfer protocol. File को transfer करने का rule. I told you that protocol is a set of rules, right? It is one of the simplest and easiest way to exchange files between two or more computers on the internet using, let me turn the page. Look, from client to server, when you want any request or will you when you get any response from the internet or from the server, you can say, then the same action will take by the FTP, file transfer protocol. Your request is going to the web server and web server is giving the response to you only because of internet connection. And on internet connection, we have to send or receive our files with the help of FTP, file transfer protocol. It is quite easy, right? After that, you can read it. If you have any kind of problem, you can discuss me personally or in next class. No problem at all. You are always welcome. Now, student, one another thing is come. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is the common protocol, is the most common protocol used for sending emails between two or more servers. It is generally used to send messages from a mail client to a mail server. The messages are then retrieved by the email client. What does it mean? It means when we are talking about simple messages, then the FTP, HTTP, TCP/IP, these are the responsible protocols. These are the rules in which we can send messages. But when we are talking about email, especially emails, electronic mail, then the SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is responsible for sending mails from one internet account to another internet account. Means from one email address to another email address, right? The messages are then retrieved by the email client, right? After that, IMAP and POP. We are just on the end of this lesson now. IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, and POP, Post Office Protocol, are two most popular internet standard protocol for retrieving emails. Look, students, whenever you send email, then you can send email in two ways, or your email account can be verified or can be standardized by two ways. Number one, IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, and second one is POP, Post Office Protocol. What it means? You can understand the meaning of these protocols with their name, and it is quite easy. Whenever you read these names, you will automatically understood the meaning of it. Let me clear. Are two most popular internet standard protocols for retrieving means to receive and send, right? Emails. In today's world, almost every single email client supports both these protocols due to their wide acceptability. ठीक है? एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी का क्या मतलब हुआ कि इसको हम दुनिया भर में इसको हम एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, स्वीकार कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? Why we accept it? Look, the utility of IMAP or POP protocol varies with respect to their uses in different environments. Listen now, what is the difference between them? Number one, when conferring an email application, it is essential to specify both. Whenever you creating your email account, then it will ask you that what kind of protocol do you want to accept or do you want to set, IMAP or POP? Then we have to set both. The sending protocol, that is SMTP, and the receiving protocol, that is POP or IMAP. Let's move on. What is the basic difference? If book is decided, then it's okay. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you. Let me turn the page. Okay, students, I think book is not telling. I am telling you the basic difference between them. Look, students, what is IMAP and POP? IMAP let me show you the page first so that you can understand. Yes, Internet Message Access Protocol. This kind of mail can be accessed only when you use internet connection because it is Internet Message Access Protocol. Access and POP, Post Office Protocol. In Post Office Protocol, whenever you, if you are offline, then also you can use Post Office Protocol because it can be used after posting the message, posting the email address, your email, because in email, uh, in Post Office Protocol, the message automatically stored inside your computer, right? But in IMAP, or its type is in SMTP, right? These are the protocols in which we have to open our email account when an internet is accessed. Means Internet Message Access Protocol. It is the rule, set of rules which can open message, we can open email messages only with internet. But in POP, we can open our emails even our internet connection is not connected, right? Then I am ending this lesson here. If you have any kind of query, you can ask.